my name's Nephi Wolf, and I did a Hoth layout for BrickSlopes. And I started out working on this AT-AT walker, and it's the for those of the people that are really involved with Lego, it's Cave God's design that I built, and it's a beautiful, like, it's a really cool AT-AT walker, but unfortunately I built it about 18 months ago. And unfortunately, I didn't find out the legs weren't strong enough to really keep it up until, like, the day before the show. And so it's beautiful. Like, if I'm holding on to it, it's beautiful to see it standing up, and I just couldn't get it to stay there. So I have it crashed and blown up, and the Snowspeeders are coming in and attacking it and blowing it up. But it's a beautiful, beautiful set. I love his design, the way he did it.
It's also just a massive scale, this build here as well. It's much bigger than most AT-ATs you see on a Hoth type build.
Oh yeah, it's minifigure scale. So, like, when it's standing up, I mean, the legs are like this tall, and so, I mean, you see Luke just dangling underneath that. It's just amazing how big it is. But next year I'll get a chance to figure out how to make it stand up.
Is there an interior on it at all?
No, it's just to make it strong enough. There's a lot of Technic pieces just holding it together, so I can just pick it up and carry it.
Great. Well, very nice. So we'll keep moving then on to the rest of the battlefield here. What do we have going on?
All right. So the next part, just a whole bunch of slopes, and just building up to the snow speeders. The snow speeders, they are motorized. So I did spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out the right gear ratios to get them working, but they are motorized, and so that's why everything's so tall. Why it's such a tall build is so that all the gears are hidden underneath that. We have all the Imperial troopers, snow troopers are coming up the mountain and coming at the base, and so just have a whole bunch of them coming in, and then just a few fun things. Have the snow troopers and Han and some of the people. They're having a snowball fight up there, and so I just threw that in for fun. And unfortunately, it's one of the farthest things away from everybody, so they probably don't see that. And then I have Yoda using the Force to clean up the driveway so I can get all the snow out of there. I've got that, but then then there's the trench. So I got just a whole bunch of troops in there. The rebel forces are massing up, trying to keep them out of there, and that was really fun. Building that area, a whole bunch of fighters in there, and the guns, just a lot of cool stuff. So I had a lot of fun with that. And then I have the transport ship. I built that. There's a lot of it's detailed on the bottom as well. It has all the storage containers. In the movie, they don't explain it, but there's a whole bunch of storage containers that they just attach to the bottom of the vehicle so they can carry all their stuff out when they're escaping from Hoth. So have that there, and that's coming out. And on the front end, did a few small things where Chewie and Han are shooting at the probe droid, and they're blasting that and trying to destroy that. And then I have Han cutting open a tauntaun there so that Luke can stay warm, so they can keep him alive. And unfortunately, like at home, I actually had a flat surface, and this all came together really well. And there's like a half-inch gap, so the tables are like, it's all cracking apart here in the show. But
it's the struggles of convention display.
It just drives me crazy. It's like it was so beautiful before I put it up here. But it's really cool. I really enjoyed, for the mountains, when I was building the mountains, I spent several weeks just designing different techniques to try and figure out how I could how it would look best, and then I just try something, and then I put everything next to each other, and finally it was like, okay, that's the technique I'm using, because I tried using vertical bricks, for the right side. I tried using vertical bricks to see how that would look, and I tried laying them down on the side to see how that would work, and I tried 1x2 or the 2x2 bricks and slopes, and just so it was fun just to try all these different techniques and figure out what worked best.
Yeah, and this kind of layering of the different slopes and pieces there for that kind of studs not on top type building works really well.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to do that, and just to play with that over several weeks and come up with a technique, and it comes apart in pieces, so it's easy to transport. The hill is like 3 different pieces, so I mean a lot of learning a lot of fun things there. And unfortunately, like so I built a cave here with Luke, iced up on the ceiling, and there's a Wampa in the back, and it's on the backside, so like nobody in the public can see it. So for anybody watching this video that came to the show, it's like, well, now you can see the Wampa cave that was back there.
It's a little bonus scene for them.
That's right. It's like the hidden stuff, the Easter egg that nobody will get to see. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
So then we're entering the base here. Does the gate actually open and close?
It does not. It is just wide enough to not be able to see the edge of it. I have a lot of Lego. I think I have a lot of Lego pieces, and then I went to get the black bricks, and I didn't have any black brick. And so I had to go to the store like the last minute and get enough pieces to just barely cover, so you can see the door, but that's as far as it goes.
Gotcha. So then once we move inside here, what do we have happening in the big open section?
All right. In the movie, there's a pen where they have the tauntauns, and so I have a tauntaun pen in the front there, and then along the left side of the interior, there's some snow speeders. They had a scaffolding, so I have that all there, and then the Millennium Falcon was front and center, and I've got the troop transport vehicle they have carrying the troopers around. And a whole bunch of greebles and things that are in there, just pipes and things to make it look more interesting. And then there's some X-wings along the backside. Well, there's one X-wing along the backside, but yeah, and a whole bunch of little details. There's pipes and storage containers and things, and I put the glass edging around it, thinking it was going to be like right in front of the public, and then it's far enough away that it's like, yeah, I probably should have left that off.
And then we've got these rooms here as well.
Correct. Yeah. I don't know where that one came from, but so there's the control room when they first find out that the Empire is come into orbit. There's the control room there with all the troopers and the screens and the computer devices that are on the walls. So I have that room, and throughout the movie there's lots of like wires and tubes and stuff on the walls. So I tried to get some of that in there. And then built another room where, when Luke gets hit by the Wampa, so I have the medical room with some beds and things and the medical droid, and have all that put together. And so there's that room there, and it connects to that one. Then I have another room, just another smaller control room area, and which leads into like when Darth Vader is invading the base. So he's coming in with a whole bunch of snow troopers, and they're coming into the base and coming in to attack everybody there. So have that last room with some greebles and things, and some cool stuff around the edges.
Yeah, all of those great fun details always help make the build pop here. So you mentioned how difficult it was kind of setting it up at the show with the different tables. What was transporting this to the show like? Because there's a lot here.
It actually wasn't too bad. So I know some people travel like all the way across the country to come to these shows. I got a 5-minute drive. So I have some other stuff here where like train stuff where I have to pack it up really nice and compact to get it here. This one, I just put it on the seats of my car, drove over, like laid it out, and was like, all right, there's a tiny piece. Drove home, got more stuff, came back.
Too easy. That's not fair.
Yeah, I feel like I'm cheating because it was just like a layout this big. Somebody would need a trailer and lots of time, and it's like, yeah, I went and got lunch and came back. It's like it was no big deal.
No, that's great, though, that you're so close you can bring a build of this size. Do you have any idea how many pieces are in this?
I don't know how many pieces in there. I know that I have at least 2,000 slope pieces in the mountains, because I know how many I built and I know how many left over, but I couldn't even begin to guess. I have no idea how many pieces in there. I've been buying pieces for 3 years with this in mind, and so I just buy handful of pieces here, handful of pieces there, and then they go onto the build. I have no idea.
No, that's fine. So you've been working on this for several years now. Do you plan to continue expanding Hoth, or maybe go in a different direction with Star Wars?
That's a question for my wife. We have an air hockey table in the basement, and I put up a whole bunch of plywood on top of the air hockey table so I could finish this up. I don't know that she's going to let me go back and put this all out. And so if I can find a corner of the house to store this in, then I may get it out, and you may see a bigger layout next year. But my wife may just be, she's been wonderful to let me do this much. We'll see if she lets me do more.
There we go. Sounds good. Well, it's a great layout here. Thank you so much for bringing it all to BrickSlopes, and I appreciate you chatting with me.